Welcome to my channel where we discuss everything and all things politics, economy and development in Nigeria. In this video, we are posing a very important question. Does Nigeria have Igbo problem? Does Nigeria have Igbo problem? That is the puzzle, and we're going to solve it. We're going to give solution to it if there is a problem. And National Assembly, and we're going to show that the solution to Igbophobia, if it exists, is in the hands of the National Assembly. And that is what we're going to do in this video. Welcome. And if you are new to my channel, you have not yet subscribed to my channel, please subscribe to my channel, hit the subscription button, hit the notification bell. When you subscribe to my channel and hit the notification bell, anytime I have a new video, you'll be among the first to know. Thank you and God bless you. Now, revered author Chinua Achebe believed that Nigeria has Igbo problem. In his seminal book, The Trouble with Nigeria, Achebe took time to talk about this issue of the Igbo in Nigeria. And he agreed that there is an Igbo problem in Nigeria. Now, this is what Achebe wrote. He said, Nigeria has Igbo problem. Nigerians will probably achieve consensus on no other matter than their common resentment of the Igbo. Let me take it again. I'm quoting Chinua Achebe from his book, The Trouble with Nigeria. He said, Nigeria has Igbo problem. Nigerians will probably achieve consensus on no other matter than their common resentment of the Igbo. That's Chinua Achebe. You may agree with him or you may disagree with him, but that is his position, that there is a common resentment of the Igbo. And if you go on social media space, you see a lot of people saying Igbo will never be president in Nigeria. They are not saying that Igbos do not have the capacity to be president. They are not saying that Igbos lack educated men and women to be president. They are not saying that Igbos are the most corrupt Nigerians. But if not for ethnic hatred, why would somebody be on the social space say that over his dead body would Igbo be president? Okay, people say all these things as a manifestation of what Chinua Achebe was talking about, that there is an Igbo problem among other ethnic groups. He said Nigerians cannot. If you listen, you could go to if you meditate over what Achebe said. He said Nigerians don't easily agree on anything, but on this Igbo matter, they have achieved a national consensus. That's what he said. There is a national consensus that if Nigerians don't agree on anything, but they agree on their common resentment of the Igbo. Now, that is a very powerful statement written down by a very powerful intellectual, one of the most respected voices in history of literature in the world, Chinua Achebe. Now, and as I've told you, if you go to social media space, there are people who have devoted themselves to the hatred of anything Igbo. Anything Igbo is their major concern. So there is a massive hatred for the Igbo. They show it, they don't hide it. Unlike the hatred of the Jews, that you'll be afraid that if you write anything anti-Semitic, you may be, the Google can take you down, Facebook can take you down, Twitter can take you down. But people are at liberty to express their hate, and this is very common on social media. Now, Chinua Achebe, before the social media, had written about this in the book, The Trouble with Nigeria. Okay? That is his position. Now, another person who also agreed with Chinua Achebe is the man who died recently, Henry Kissinger, the former Secretary of State of the United States government. In a memo, he wrote to President Richard Nixon in 1969 at the height of the Nigerian Civil War, which you can find. I hope I will not forget. I will give you a link to Nixon Library, where American government has already declassified some information that concern his administration, so that you can go and read that memo. If you can also go to the United States Department, U.S. Department of State. If you go to their website now, you can, if you type it, just type Henry Kissinger and what he has to say about the Igbos, maybe it might pump up. But I will also put a link. That has been declassified in 2001. I will also put a link of that so that you can go and verify this. Now, Henry Kissinger, in the memo he sent to President Nixon, the title of that memo is United States Options in Biafra Relief, January 28, 1969. So it was in that memo, it was in response to what Richard Nixon was requesting him. He wanted to find out about the kind of help they can give to the Biafrans who are fighting a civil war, because there was issue of kwashiorkor and people dying of hunger and starvation and all that. So, but in the process, a whole lot of things were said about the Igbo and other Nigerians in respect of this, the issue at stake now. Now, this is what Henry Kissinger wrote. This is an excerpt. You go and read the detail in the link that I will put below. This is what he said. Henry Kissinger said that there is an urge for unity among the elite of all factions. That's, I mean, among all Nigerians of various dimensions, ethnicity or whatever. Okay, he said there is an urge for unity. That there's a need for unity. They said there's an urge for unity among the elite of all factions. What it means that both the Yoruba, Hausa, Urobo, whatever you have, they have urge for unity. But he said the strongest cement at this point is probably common tribal hatred of the Igbo. Henry Kissinger wrote, there is an urge for unity among the elite of all factions, though the strongest cement at this point is probably common tribal hatred of the Igbos. Going on in another paragraph, he wrote, he said, the feds, that the federal government of Nigeria, have cultivated a little clan in discovering they could run the country without the Igbos, who were the backbone of commerce and civil service in the north as well as the south. The Nigerians are proud and latently xenophobic. End of quote. That is Henry Kissinger, 1969, in a memo to President Richard Nixon on the Biafra-Nigerian War. Now, from my understanding of it, this idea of Igbo resentment and what have you, does it exist? I want to put it this way. Chinua Achebe is one of the most brilliant minds of his generation and of any generation. For such a brilliant mind to be so categorical about this issue, I don't know what we have to debate about it again. But what I'm doing this video is for a solution to it. There is a solution to it. There is a solution to it. And that solution is in the hands of the National Assembly of Nigeria. Now, before I go further on that, if you are new to my channel, you have not yet subscribed to my channel, please subscribe to my channel, hit the notification bell, so that hit the subscription button, hit the notification bell, so that anytime I have a new video, you'll be among the first to know. God bless you. Now, what are the solutions? I told you that the solution, there are two key solutions to the problem. And these two solutions are in the hands of the National Assembly of the Federal Republic of Nigeria. One, the first solution is that Nigeria, if truly the Igbo are recognized as part and parcel of Nigeria, one of the things they must do and work towards is to see the actualization of an Igbo, a person of Igbo extraction. He could be from Delta State, he could be from any state, to become the president of Nigeria. That is the first step the government of Nigeria or the people of Nigeria must take to solve this problem. And there is a solution which is in the hands of the National Assembly of Nigeria. What is the solution? We have 6 geopolitical zones in Nigeria, although not written down in the Constitution. These 6 geopolitical zones should be a yardstick for the rotation of the presidency of Nigeria, and it must be written in black and white in the Constitution of Federal Republic of Nigeria. We can no longer pretend that what we have here and called democracy can be able to produce an Igbo as president, or produce somebody, a minority, or from an Igbo. I'm not saying that Igbo is a minority in Nigeria, no, far from it, to become president. You can see now how, what's his name, Dr. Goodluck Ebele Jonathan, a minority by accident became president. You can see how they conspired against him and chased him away from the villa, literally. So there is a need to have in the Constitution of the Federal Republic of Nigeria presidential rotation among the 6 geopolitical zones, and the National Assembly can do that. That is the way to ensure that every part of the country can produce the president of Nigeria. Already in several states of Nigeria today, the governorship positions are shared, are rotated in the 3 senatorial zones of the state. We must put it in the Constitution if we are really serious. But if we don't do it, this idea that Nigeria has an Igbo problem will continue to persist. So the solution to it is rotational presidency. And that rotational presidency should start with the Igbo, if really we are serious. Because you can look at it right now, almost all the other zones have touched the presidency since 1999, except the Southeast zone. That is what needs to be done. So the National Assembly can make a law and enshrine rotation of the presidency of Nigeria. Forget about the hogwash that you don't need to legislate on that, that the most popular candidate we want the person who has the capacity to become president of Nigeria can be found in any geopolitical zone at any given time. So don't tell me that rubbish that competency is domiciled in a certain set of people. In any case, those people that are domiciled with them, what is the result? Looking at the state of Nigeria today, what has they been able to provide to prove that they deserve even to be the president that they parade themselves as? So the best thing to do is to rotate the presidency. That is the solution, and the National Assembly can do it. Now, that will take care of all those who are agitating for secession and all those other things. This will take care of that. Number 2, which the National Assembly can do, if they don't want to democratize the presidency through the six geopolitical zones. In fact, Dr. Leslie Kweme was the first person to recommend this six geopolitical zone and talk about rotational presidency when he attended a constitutional conference that was organized by late General Sani Abuja. So it is not a new thing. All the National Assembly need is to revisit that, enshrine it in the Constitution. Nigeria we like to pick and choose. That is geopolitical zone. We are now using it in Nigeria virtually, but we have to write it in the Constitution and then put it in black and white that that the presidency must rotate across the six geopolitical zones to give sense of belonging to every part of Nigeria. Now, then the second solution, which I think it is a hard solution, but also the National Assembly can do it, is if really Nigerians resent the Igbos, it means that if you come to the National Assembly today, majority of them will be resenting the Igbos. If that is true, then the National Assembly of Nigeria should do what the Parliament of Malaysia did in 1965. What they did in 1965. What did they do in 1965? There was a massive race riot in Malaysia, ethnically and religiously inspired, between the Malays, the Singaporeans, the Chinese, and everything. And the Malaysians, who are the Malays, who have the largest population, say enough is enough, that they can no longer share the same country with Singaporeans. So what did the Malaysians do? What the Malaysians did was the Parliament of Malaysia, which is just like the National Assembly of Nigeria, say, okay, what we are going to do, since we resent the Singaporeans, let us allow them to leave the Federation. And the National Assembly of Singapore, National Assembly of Malaysia, because Malaysia and Singapore, they were all one country. So the National Assembly of Malaysia, in an overwhelming vote, passed a resolution declaring that Singapore should leave the Federation. So National Assembly can say, Southeast Zone of Nigeria, or the Igbo-speaking people of Nigeria, should exit the Federation formally by a proclamation that was passed by a majority of the National Assembly members. And that, if that is done, it will also be a constitutionally approved exit, just like Singapore exited from Malaysia. There will be no need to fire guns. There will be no need to anybody kill each other. It will be properly agreed how assets and liabilities will be shared, and that will settle the matter. There will be no shedding of anybody's blood. So National Assembly can borrow a leaf from the Malaysian Parliament, what they did in 1965, after the uprising of 1964 in their country. That is, as I said, that is a tough one, because you have seen Nigerians talk about that Nigeria is an indivisible nation. But if really the Igbo are resented, as being alleged and being claimed, and if it is true that this is widespread, and that Nigerians have vowed that an Igbo can never be president of this country, it can be done like that, so that Nigeria and Southeast or Igbo-speaking part of the Federation can develop together as one West African country, one West Africa, part of the West African sub-region, African continent, and what have you. So it is not a new thing. So they can follow that option. Because oftentimes I have seen people talk about that these people who are that people should leave their area and all that. The National Assembly has a solution to that. They can make a law, they can pass it and severe it by majority vote in the National Assembly, just as the Malaysian parliament did, and Singapore left. And if we look at the record, since they separated from each other, they are all doing very well for themselves. Okay? Let us look at the GDP of Singapore today. The GDP of Singapore today is $497 billion. That's the GDP of Singapore. The GDP of Malaysia is 430 billion. The GDP of Malaysia. You can see that Singapore has done tremendously well. And when I tell you the population of Singapore, you will now know that they have done tremendously well after they were forcefully exited, because it was like, if you read the Lee Kuan Yew's book, you find out that they were shocked when they were moving. You know, just like what is happening in Southeast, everybody's mocking them. They don't have access to the sea. They don't have this and that. Talking about all the disadvantages the Igbo speaking area will have if they are to exist from Nigeria. Okay? The same thing, Lee Kuan Yew faced there was a lot of challenges. And the Malaysians think they are on top of the world when they facilitated that severance of relationship of the federation between them. But today, Malaysia is doing well, relatively, and Singapore is also doing well, but Singapore is doing better. Because if you look at the GDP of Malaysia, the GDP of Malaysia is 33, the GDP of Malaysia is 430 billion, while that of Singapore is 497. But look at their population, so that you now know the difference. While Malaysia is having a GDP of 430 billion, their population is 33.5 million as a 2021 census figure. Singapore is having a GDP, a higher GDP of $497 billion. Meanwhile, the population of Singapore is just 5 million. Now, if you divide the population by the GDP, you know that exceedingly the Singaporeans have been better off by the severance of that relationship with Malaysia. Now, these are the choices left for the National Assembly to do. It doesn't need, people don't have to fight each other. People don't have to do anything. These are democracy in action. You either follow the first one I suggested, democratizing the presidency of Nigeria, so that the presidency must rotate across the 6 geopolitical zones. And as I said, in that, it must be included, and it should be included in that amendment of the Constitution, that it will start from the southeast, because since 1999, that is the zone that has not produced a president, so that that part of the country could feel a sense of belonging, and it will bring an end to the feeling of resentment against people of that region, and especially the Igbo in particular. Okay, because the Igbo, we're talking about, spread much more than the 5 states in the southeast. That's it. That is the better and the best option if truly we want a united Nigeria in which everyone will feel at home, in which nobody will feel more Nigerian than the other. That is the best solution, and it's in the hands of the National Assembly. Then the second one is also in the hand of the National Assembly. If you want to follow the Malaysian route of 1965, that is also democratic. the choice is now in the hands of the National Assembly of the Federal Republic of Nigeria. They can solve the Igbo problem, which Chinua Achebe identified, and former Secretary of State of the United States, Henry Kissinger, also identified. Thank you for watching this video. And if you are new to my channel, you have not yet subscribed to my channel, please subscribe to my channel. Hit the subscription button, hit the notification bell. When you subscribe to my channel and hit the notification bell, anytime I have a new video, you'll be among the first to know. God bless you. And please don't forget to like this video, because when you like it, Google will rank it high and recommend it for more people. Thank you, and God bless you and yours.